What is up, guys? Delboy here. Heavyweight Nick Webb has been knocked out brutally by Kamil Sokolowski. Nick Webb at one point was viewed as a prospect. He had a pretty record by the time he fought Dave Allen. I believe he was like 12-0. They took the Dave Allen fight. Nick Webb was a favourite in that fight. You know, Dave Allen was kind of viewed as the first step up for Nick Webb. But he was supposed to win. He was favourite going into that fight. But that isn't what happened. He got knocked out in that fight. He started well, but, you know, he really didn't manage his stamina. And he gassed, and then he got caught with a big shot, and he got knocked out quite badly in that fight. After the Dave Allen fight, you know, he said he would come back and rebuild. It was obvious what he needed to improve on. He needed to improve his stamina. You know, he was a guy who carried too much flesh, in my opinion, and, you know, he needed to improve the technical side of things, namely his defense. And, you know, he's recently come back, had a win over Dorian Darch, who is a decent journeyman, and he then fights Kamil Sokolowski tonight, who is a very capable journeyman, and he got knocked out. You know, the knockout again was quite brutal. Nick Webb was dropped with a lovely left hook from Kamil Sokolowski. Nick Webb threw a right hand, and, you know, as he was going to follow up with his left, Sokolowski caught him in between his punches, and, you know, he caught Nick Webb bang on the chin. Lovely counter left hook from Sokolowski. Nick Webb, you know, he was badly hurt, but he did beat the count. But Sokolowski, you know, he jumped on him and landed a lovely left hook straight away that dropped Nick Webb hard. And that was all she wrote, you know. A really, really decisive and brutal finish from Kamil Sokolowski. As for Nick Webb, I mean, his future is really looking bleak. He has suffered 2 bad knockout losses this year. And, you know, he has so many flaws in his game defensively. He's sloppy. He carries too much weight. You know, even in the Sokolowski fight, he didn't look in that great condition. You know, I'm not sure what round he got knocked out in because the full fight isn't available online. But from the knockout clip I saw, he looked tired. You know, he was pushing his punches, and the conditioning hasn't really improved from the Dave Allen fight, and technically he's not improved either. And at 31 years old, I cannot really see this guy going anywhere. Even if he wants to stick around to be a journeyman, that's all well and good, but, you know, good journeymen are durable, they're tough, they can ride with shots, they can defend themselves, and Nick Webb can't do that. Look at Kamil Sokolowski, for example. Look at the guys he's been in with, and he rarely gets stopped. You know, this guy, yes, he's got a losing record. Yes, if you're worth your salt, you will beat him, but Kamil Sokolowski can defend himself. He knows what he's doing. And he does come to fight. Sokolowski is a quality journeyman. Nick Webb, I don't think, can be that. You know, he's basically a knockout for hire. I know that may sound a horrible thing to say, but to me there's a big difference between a good journeyman and a body for a prospect to feed on. There's a big difference, in my opinion. So yeah, Nick Webb, his future is looking bleak. I'm not really interested in seeing this guy fight again at any sort of level. You know, maybe he can knock over some cab drivers, get one more big fight, but I've got to be honest, I cannot see Nick Webb going above area level. Maybe, just maybe, he could snag an English title, but I cannot see him going beyond that, and even English level is a push in my opinion. So yeah, Nick Webb, not looking too good. As for Kamil Sokolowski, I think he deserves a shout out. You know, this guy always comes in shape. He always gives it a go. He's a durable guy with a good chin, solid defense, you know. There's a lot to admire about Kamil Sokolowski, and he is an example of a really, really good journeyman. And it makes you wonder, what would have happened if he got good management at the start of his career? I'm not saying he would have been a world champion or anything like that, but if this guy was actually given learning fights and development fights, I think you'd see a guy who is capable at British level. I know he's not British, but he'd operate at a similar level. And yeah, it's a shame that nobody really got behind him early on, because he is a good fighter. And also, like I said, he is very small for heavyweight. Maybe if he had backing, he would get down to cruiserweight and campaign there. But, you know, Sokolowski has knocked out Nick Webb. He's knocked out Naylor Ball, who was a prospect and unbeaten at that. He knocked out AJ Carter. He beat Sean Turner. When Sean Turner was undefeated, he drew to Dominic Akinlade. He beat Adam Maitchi when Adam Maitchi was undefeated. So, yeah, Kamil Sokolowski has sprung some upsets in his career. He's beaten some low-level prospects. And, yeah, salute to Kamil Sokolowski. He really is a credit to the sport. And I really hope he gets a fight with a high-level prospect for good money, you know. Even somebody like Daniel Dubois, I wouldn't be mad at that. I know Sokolowski has a losing record, but he will give it a go more than any of Dubois' previous opponents. I can say that much. So yeah, shout out to Kamil Sokolowski. He deserves some praise in my opinion. Share your thoughts below. Peace.